Welcome back to another thrilling video on our channel. Over the years, we've explored the hidden sides of musicians, YouTubers, wrestlers, and even law enforcement, revealing the shocking truths behind their seemingly flawless lives. By popular request, today we're turning our focus to actors, those celebrated stars and dreamers, who have faced incredibly dark chapters in their personal journeys. From shocking scandals to downright chilling acts, these are the celebrities and actors who have completely redefined the meaning of falling from grace. Shannon Richardson, a name once recognized by audiences for her supporting roles in popular TV shows like The Walking Dead and The Vampire Diaries, was emerging as a rising star in Hollywood's supporting cast. However, few could have predicted that behind the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry, Richardson would become at the center of a shocking criminal case involving politics and deadly toxins. In 2013, she made headlines for all the wrong reasons when she was arrested for sending letters containing the deadly toxin ricin to President Barack Obama and several other prominent figures, including New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg. The case came to light when authorities discovered the poisoned letters, prompting an immediate investigation. The potential threat to life not only caused widespread alarm, but also left many wondering, who could be daring and dangerous enough to commit such an act? When arrested, Shannon Richardson attempted to shift the blame onto her husband in an effort to avoid responsibility. However, overwhelming evidence, including fingerprints and data from her personal computer, confirmed that she was the sole person behind the disturbing act. In July 2014, Richardson was sentenced to 18 years in prison, making her case one of the most shocking stories of corruption to emerge from Hollywood. Her downfall serves as a stark reminder of the dark side of fame, illustrating how one can fall from the heights of success to the depths of criminality, and the severe consequences that come with such a dramatic shift. Actor Jeffrey Jones may not be a household name to everyone, but his memorable roles in classic films like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Beetlejuice helped solidify his place in Hollywood history. Known for his skill in balancing humor, depth, and even menace, Jones built a successful career as a versatile supporting actor. However, behind his career and impressive performances lies a major scandal that ultimately overshadowed his legacy and severely tarnished his public image. Born in Buffalo, New York in 1946, Jeffrey Jones developed a passion for acting early on. He studied drama at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art before refining his craft on stage. By the late 1970s, Jones made the transition to film and television, where his expressive face and commanding voice allowed him to carve out a niche in eccentric, often authoritative roles. His big breakthrough came in 1986 with Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where he portrayed Edward R. Rooney, the bumbling school principal determined to catch Ferris skipping school. Jones's performance turned Rooney into one of the most memorable villains of the 1980s, cementing his status as a beloved comedic talent. Jones's success continued with his role as Charles Dietz, the stressed-out father in Beetlejuice, 1988, who finds his family accidentally moving into a haunted house. In this film, Jones showcased his versatility by transitioning from the villainous Rooney to a quirky, yet endearing father figure. His collaboration with director Tim Burton didn't end there, as he appeared in films like Ed Wood and Sleepy Hollow, further proving the range of his acting abilities. Additionally, Jones delivered a standout performance in Amadeus as Emperor Joseph II, where his mix of authority and humor earned critical acclaim. By the 1990s, he had become a familiar face in Hollywood, loved for his unique energy and his talent for elevating every role he took on. However, in 2002, Jeffrey Jones faced serious legal trouble when allegations of inappropriate conduct were brought to light. Reports indicated his involvement in activities that led to an investigation, which uncovered disturbing evidence. These allegations marked a dramatic turning point in his career, shocking both fans and colleagues alike. The incident resulted in his career coming to an abrupt halt, sparking widespread public discussion and severely damaging his public image. In 2003, Jeffrey Jones pled guilty to the charges and was sentenced to 5 years of probation, mandatory counseling, and lifetime registration as a sex offender. The fallout from the scandal was swift and severe. Hollywood distanced itself from him, and his once promising career quickly dwindled, leaving him with only small roles. The public found it difficult to separate Jones from his criminal actions, and as a result, studios and directors avoided working with him. His previous successes, which had once made him a beloved actor, were overshadowed by the gravity of his personal actions. Jo-sun's name may not be widely recognized, but fans of the 1997 comedy Austin Powers. International Man of Mystery remember him as Random Task, a humorous parody of the iconic James Bond villain Odd Job. Born in South Korea in 1970, Sun moved to California at a young age, where he developed a deep passion for martial arts. His skills in various disciplines eventually combined into a unique style he called Jo-sun-do, showcasing his versatility and dedication to the craft. Although Jo-sun's martial arts background initially made him stand out, his career soon took a dark turn, overshadowing his brief time in Hollywood's spotlight. His professional fighting career was also short-lived, beginning in the early days of the UFC with a debut at UFC 4 in 1994. Despite his unorthodox fighting style, his only match ended in defeat, and his MMA career failed to take off. Using his physique and martial arts skills, Sun transitioned to acting, landing his most memorable role as Random Task in Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. However, his time in the entertainment industry was fleeting, as his personal life and actions would soon overshadow his career. Jo-sun delivered a memorable performance in Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, bringing humor and delight to audiences, particularly with his character's signature weapon, a shoe. The film's overwhelming success made Sun a familiar face, though his acting career remained limited to supporting roles. However, in 2008, more than a decade after Austin Powers had brought him brief fame, Sun's life took a shocking turn. He was arrested for a minor offense, and during the investigation, his DNA was linked to a 1990 gang rape and assault case, bringing a dark and disturbing chapter to light in his life. In 2011, Jo-sun was implicated in the death of his cellmate Michael Thomas Graham during a violent altercation. After a lengthy legal process, he was convicted of second-degree murder in 2017. This conviction further cemented Sun's reputation as a dangerous individual, dramatically overshadowing his brief time in Hollywood. Once remembered for his humorous role in Austin Powers, Sun's legacy has been irreparably damaged by his horrific crimes, creating a stark contrast between the lighthearted character he portrayed on screen and the violent actions he committed in real life. Danny Masterson gained widespread fame in the early 2000s for his role as Stephen Hyde, the sharp-witted and rebellious character on the beloved sitcom That 70s Show. With his dry humor and relaxed demeanor, Masterson quickly became a fan favorite and an iconic figure on television during that era. However, despite his success and charm in Hollywood, troubling allegations emerged years later, forever altering his public image and derailing his career. Born in 1976 in Long Island, New York, Danny Masterson began his career at a young age, first appearing in commercials before transitioning to television and film in the 1990s. His big break came in 1998 when he landed the role of Stephen Hyde in That 70s Show. His portrayal of the sharp-witted, rebellious character helped him become a household name. The show quickly became a cultural phenomenon, running for 8 successful seasons and serving as a launchpad for the careers of many of its young cast members. In addition to his acting career, Danny Masterson expanded his presence by working as a DJ under the name DJ Mom Jeans, earning attention for his humorous style and cool persona. However, despite his success, serious allegations began to emerge in the early 2000s, with several women accusing Masterson of misconduct during events that occurred between 2001 and 2003. These allegations, combined with concerns that there had been pressure to remain silent, thrust the case into the public eye, drawing significant attention to both Masterson and his ties to the Church of Scientology. Critics raised questions about whether the organization had played a role in obstructing these women from speaking out, exposing broader issues of power, influence, and potential cover-ups. While Danny Masterson continued to work in Hollywood, including starring in Netflix's The Ranch, public scrutiny over the allegations intensified in 2017 with the rise of the #MeToo movement. As legal and public pressure mounted, Masterson was written off the show. By 2020, he was officially charged with multiple allegations related to the incidents, which he denied, insisting that the encounters were consensual. The trial, which began in 2023, brought forward emotional testimony from the victims, shedding light on the significant social and emotional challenges they faced. Their stories highlighted the barriers that victims often encounter when trying to speak out, particularly when confronting individuals in positions of power and influence. In May 2023, Danny Masterson was convicted on 2 of the 3 charges, and by September of that year, he was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison. Masterson's case became a significant moment in Hollywood's ongoing efforts to address accountability and justice. It underscored the importance of creating a safe environment where victims can speak out and be heard, while also highlighting the complexities of cases involving public figures. While Masterson's work on screen will remain part of his legacy, the events surrounding his trial serve as a powerful reminder of the need to confront harm and ensure accountability, regardless of one's status or fame. Shelley Malil's name may not be widely recognized, but for fans of the comedy The 40-Year-Old Virgin, 2005, he is remembered as one of the standout characters, playing a quirky co-worker with notable comedic talent. Born in 1964 in Kerala, India, Malil moved to the United States as a child and grew up in Texas, where his passion for acting began to take root, leading him to perform in local theater productions. With a strong theater background, Malil moved to Hollywood in the early 1990s, determined to build a career despite the limited opportunities for Indian American actors at the time. His perseverance paid off when Shelley Malil landed small but memorable roles in shows like NYPD Blue, The West Wing, and Scrubs. However, his breakthrough role came in The 40-Year-Old Virgin, where he played Aziz, a quirky co-worker to Steve Carell's character. Malil's comedic performance and his interactions with the cast left a lasting impression, contributing significantly to the film's success both commercially and critically. The movie helped propel several stars, including Carell, Seth Rogen, and Paul Rudd, to new heights. For Malil, it was his most prominent role, bringing him widespread recognition and opening up more opportunities in Hollywood. Despite his recognized comedic talent, Shelley Malil's career never reached the same level of success as his peers from the 40-year-old virgin. In 2008, his life took a tragic and shocking turn. On August 10th of that year, Malil brutally attacked his ex-girlfriend Kendra BBE, stabbing her over 20 times at her home in San Marcos, California. The attack, which was driven by jealousy, left BBE with severe injuries and permanently changed the course of her life. This violent act marked a dramatic and irreversible shift in Malil's life and career. Witnesses described Malil's uncontrollable rage during the attack, and neighbors, hearing the commotion, called the police. Kendra BBE survived the horrific ordeal, though she required extensive medical treatment and suffered lasting psychological trauma. Malil was arrested and charged with attempted premeditated murder and assault with a deadly weapon. During the trial, prosecutors argued that the attack was calculated and cruel, stressing the severity of BB's injuries and the malicious intent behind Malil's actions. Although Malil claimed to have lost control in a moment of anger, the jury found him guilty. In 2010, he was sentenced to 12 years to life in prison, effectively ending his career. This sentence highlighted the stark contrast between Malil's once cheerful on-screen persona and the brutal reality of his actions off-screen. Michael Jace was once a respected character actor, known for his compelling roles in both film and television, with his most notable performance being LAPD officer Julian Lowe in the hit series The Shield. Jace brought a remarkable depth to the character, portraying a man wrestling with personal and professional challenges. Despite his talent and career success, Jace's personal life took a tragic turn, leading to a crime that shocked his fans and devastated his family. With his commanding presence and serious demeanor, Michael Jace was a natural fit for roles that conveyed authority and moral complexity. A small but notable role in the 1994 blockbuster Forrest Gump showcased his versatility as an actor. However, his big breakthrough came in 2002 with The Shield, where he portrayed Julian Lowe, a devout police officer struggling with ethical dilemmas. The show garnered critical acclaim, and Jace's performance was widely praised for its depth, authenticity, and the emotional complexity he brought to the character. However, Michael Jace's personal life was marred by financial struggles and escalating family tensions. In 2011, he filed for bankruptcy, with debts exceeding $500,000. These financial pressures created significant strain on his marriage to April Jace, leading to an increasingly volatile household. On May 19, 2014, the conflicts came to a tragic and horrific head when, in a fit of rage fueled by financial stress and personal despair, Jace fatally shot his wife at their Los Angeles home. The chilling incident, witnessed by their 2 young children, shattered the family and stunned those who had known the actor. After his arrest, Michael Jace admitted to the crime during a 911 call. Prosecutors presented strong evidence that emphasized the calculated nature of his actions, along with his history of domestic violence. During the 2016 trial, the defense argued that the shooting was an impulsive act of rage fueled by emotional stress. However, the jury convicted him of second-degree murder, and he was sentenced to 40 years in prison. This sentence highlighted the severity of his crime and the profound impact it had on his family, particularly his 2 young children, who tragically lost both parents in a single night. Jace's story stands as a grim reminder of the devastating consequences that can arise from unchecked personal turmoil. Ryan Grantham, a promising young Canadian actor, began his career at a very early age. Born in 1998 in British Columbia, he quickly gained recognition for his remarkable talent, securing roles in Canadian films and television shows. Known for his expressive performances, Grantham appeared in popular series like Supernatural, iZombie, and Unspeakable. One of his most memorable roles was in the family film Diary of a Wimpy Kid, where he portrayed Rodney James, a minor character who made a lasting impression. This role helped open doors for Grantham, including a part in the hit series Riverdale, where he played Jeffrey Augustine, a character central to a poignant and emotionally charged storyline. Despite his growing success, Ryan Grantham's life became overshadowed by severe personal struggles. He reportedly battled mental health issues, including depression and anxiety, which began to affect his relationships and his outlook on the future. Those close to him noticed his increasing withdrawal and growing signs of deepening instability and distress as he struggled to cope with his mental health challenges. These personal struggles ultimately cast a shadow over his promising career. Tragically, Ryan Grantham's struggles culminated in a shocking act of violence on March 31, 2020, when he fatally shot his mother, Barbara Waite, at their home in Squamish, British Columbia. After the murder, Grantham loaded his car with weapons and supplies, reportedly intending to drive to Ottawa to carry out further acts of violence, including a plan targeting Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. However, he ultimately abandoned this plan and turned himself in to the police, confessing to the killing of his mother. His arrest, along with the chilling details of his actions, drew widespread media attention, painting a heartbreaking picture of a young man whose untreated mental health issues drove him to violence. In 2022, Ryan Grantham stood trial for the murder of his mother. Prosecutors emphasized the premeditated nature of the crime, presenting evidence of rehearsals and his methodical actions leading up to the killing. The defense argued that Grantham's mental health struggles, particularly his battles with depression and detachment from reality, played a significant role in the tragedy. Despite expressing remorse during the trial, Grantham was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to life imprisonment, with the possibility of parole after 14 years. This case stands as a heartbreaking example of the devastating consequences of untreated mental health issues, leaving an indelible impact on those who loved and knew Barbara Waite. Skyler Deleon, born on August 12, 1979 in Sun Valley, California, began his career as a child actor, landing a minor role in the popular series Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. However, his acting career quickly dwindled, leaving him frustrated and facing growing financial struggles. As the pressures of life mounted, DeLeon's dreams of Hollywood success gave way to a darker path, driven by greed and desperation. In 2004, Skyler Deleon, along with his wife Jennifer Henderson and accomplices John Fitzgerald Kennedy and Alonzo McCain, devised a chilling plan to steal the yacht well-deserved from a retired couple, Thomas and Jackie Hawks. Posing as prospective buyers, the group overpowered the couple while out at sea, forcing them to sign over ownership of the yacht. In a brutal and callous act, they then tied the couple to an anchor and threw them overboard. The bodies of Thomas and Jackie Hawks were never recovered, and their disappearance remains one of the most haunting aspects of DeLeon's crimes. The case shocked the public, and in 2008, Skyler Deleon was sentenced to death for the first-degree murder of Thomas and Jackie Hawks. His accomplices also received severe sentences for their roles in the crime. Once dreaming of fame, Deleon is now infamous for his brutal actions, and his crimes have left profound grief for the victim's family. His story serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of unchecked greed and the lengths to which some will go to satisfy their desires. Born in Des Moines, Iowa in 1947, Collins pursued acting from a young age, studying at prestigious institutions and refining his craft on stage. His ability to seamlessly transition between serious and lighthearted roles helped him quickly rise in Hollywood, with memorable performances in iconic films such as Star Trek, The Motion Picture, Jumping Jack Flash, and The First Wives Club. By the mid-1990s, Collins had established himself as a familiar and respected figure in the entertainment industry. When Seventh Heaven premiered in 1996, Stephen Collins became a household name. The show, which centered around a pastor and his large family navigating life's challenges with a strong moral compass, struck a chord with audiences. The themes of family values and faith resonated deeply, and Collins' portrayal of Reverend Camden made him an ideal role model for viewers of all ages. Over the course of 11 seasons, Seventh Heaven became a staple of family programming, with Collins' character becoming synonymous with integrity, wisdom, and the strength of family bonds. However, in 2014, during a legal dispute, past allegations against Stephen Collins were brought to light. The details of these allegations shocked and disappointed the public, as they directly contradicted the wholesome image he had cultivated over the years. These revelations sparked an immediate backlash, causing Collins to lose career opportunities and even leading to Seventh Heaven being pulled from some broadcasting platforms. Although the age of the allegations meant that legal action could not be pursued, the scandal had enduring and far-reaching consequences for Collins's career and reputation, forever altering how he was perceived by the public. Stephen Collins publicly expressed his regret following the allegations, but the damage to his public image was irreversible. Fans of Seventh Heaven found it difficult to reconcile the beloved character of Reverend Camden with the man behind the role. Despite Collins issuing a public apology and showing remorse, his efforts were unable to restore the public's trust. The scandal ultimately marked the end of his career and tarnished the legacy of Seventh Heaven, a show that was once viewed as a symbol of wholesome entertainment. Collins's story serves as a powerful reminder of the complex intersection of public trust, accountability, and the lasting consequences of personal actions, leaving behind a legacy forever marred by controversy and disappointment. Sean Combs, widely known by his stage name Diddy, has built a successful career in music and film, including his role in the 2014 movie Draft Day. However, recent headlines about him have taken a dark turn. On September 16, 2024, he was arrested at a New York hotel and is now facing serious charges, including sex trafficking, racketeering, and transporting individuals for the purpose of prostitution. These charges have cast a shadow over his previously glittering public image. According to the indictment dating back to 2009, Sean Combs, aka Diddy, is accused of operating a criminal enterprise that coerced women into prolonged sexual acts. The charges suggest that he used his influence, threats, and even drugs to manipulate and control his victims, all while maintaining his public image and concealing his actions. Diddy has pleaded not guilty to all charges, with his defense team asserting that he is the target of an unjust prosecution. He remains steadfast in proclaiming his innocence, vehemently denying the allegations. However, prosecutors have presented disturbing evidence, including the discovery of weapons and a significant amount of lubricants during searches of Sean Combs' properties, along with allegations of abuse and coercion. If convicted on all charges, Diddy could face a sentence ranging from 15 years to life in prison. He has been denied bail twice and is currently being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center, where he is under special observation for safety reasons. These developments have added further complexity to the case, with the public closely watching as the legal proceedings unfold. Yeong-su, best known for his unforgettable role as Player 001 in Squid Game, became embroiled in a serious legal controversy following the global success of the series in 2021. He was accused of sexual misconduct by a woman who claimed that he acted inappropriately toward her during an encounter in 2017. The allegations quickly became a point of public scrutiny, casting a shadow over his newfound fame and leading to widespread media attention. According to reports, the incident involved unwanted advances, which led the woman to file an official complaint in 2021. However, the police initially dismissed the case due to insufficient evidence. The case was reopened in 2022 under renewed scrutiny. Yeong-su denied the allegations, claiming that he had only brushed the woman's hand unintentionally and that the act was neither deliberate nor sexual in nature. He expressed regret if his actions had been misinterpreted, but continued to maintain his innocence throughout the legal process. In late 2022, South Korean prosecutors formally charged Yeong-su with indecent assault. Under South Korean law, this charge involves non-consensual sexual acts that do not meet the threshold of physical coercion. The allegations sparked significant public backlash, prompting the South Korean Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism to halt a promotional campaign that had featured him. The case garnered widespread media attention and stirred public debate, further intensifying the scrutiny surrounding Yeong-su's reputation. The international community was shocked when Yeong-su, previously celebrated for his portrayal of a humble and wise figure in Squid Game, and his historic Golden Globe win as the first Korean actor to receive Best Supporting Actor, faced legal consequences. In March 2024, at the age of 79, Yeong-su was sentenced to 8 months in prison, with the sentence suspended for 2 years. Additionally, he was ordered to complete 40 hours of sexual violence treatment. The sentence marked a dramatic turn in his career, casting a shadow over his achievements and raising questions about the balance of fame, accountability, and legal repercussions. For decades, Bill Cosby was celebrated as one of the most beloved figures in entertainment. His influence stretched across multiple fields: stand-up comedy, television, books, and film, creating a legacy that appeared untouchable. Born in Philadelphia in 1937, Cosby grew up in a working-class family and used humor as a way to connect with others. After serving in the Navy and studying at Temple University, he discovered his true passion for comedy. By the early 1960s, Cosby had established himself as a relatable and accessible comedian, captivating audiences with stories about family life and universal experiences. In 1965, Bill Cosby broke racial barriers by becoming the first black actor to star in a primetime TV show, I Spy, for which he won 3 consecutive Emmy Awards. This groundbreaking role opened doors for future generations of black actors. Cosby continued his success in the 1970s with the animated series Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, where he taught children valuable life lessons, further solidifying his status as a cultural icon. In 1984, The Cosby Show premiered, depicting an ideal black family and quickly becoming one of the most watched programs of the decade. The show earned Cosby the affectionate nickname America's Dad, cementing his place as a beloved figure in American entertainment. However, behind the image of the ideal family man, a disturbing secret was hidden. Allegations of sexual assault began to surface as early as the 1960s, but they were largely ignored or dismissed due to Cosby's power and influence. The first public accusation came in 2005 when Andrea Constand, a Temple University employee, accused Cosby of drugging and assaulting her. While the case was settled out of court, it prompted many other women to come forward with similar stories. In 2014, comedian Hannibal Buress reignited public attention with a stand-up routine, calling Cosby a hypocrite and urging the audience to investigate the accusations. This sparked a wave of more than 60 women who came forward sharing similar accounts of being drugged and sexually assaulted by Cosby over several decades. Cosby's legal troubles reached a climax in 2015 when he was charged with aggravated sexual assault in the case brought by Andrea Constand. His trial became a defining moment in the #MeToo movement, symbolizing the long-awaited accountability of powerful men who had evaded justice for years. In 2018, Cosby was convicted on 3 counts of aggravated sexual assault and sentenced to 10 years in prison. However, in 2021, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned his conviction due to a prior agreement made during the prosecution, resulting in his release after nearly 3 years behind bars. While legally freed, Cosby's reputation was permanently tarnished. Once celebrated as a moral icon, his legacy now serves as a harsh reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the critical need for transparency and accountability. Amy Locane, best known for her role in Melrose Place, shocked the world when she was involved in a tragic car accident in 2010. Locane, driving under the influence of alcohol, caused a collision in New Jersey that led to the death of Helen Seaman and the severe injury of her husband, Fred Seaman. The investigation revealed that Locane's blood alcohol level was above the legal limit for driving. Witnesses at the scene described Locane's car speeding and losing control before the crash occurred, leading to devastating consequences. In court, Amy Locane expressed deep remorse and acknowledged her actions, but the prosecutor argued that her irresponsibility had caused irreversible consequences. Initially, Locane was sentenced to 3 years in prison, but after several trials and appeals, her sentence was adjusted to reflect the gravity of the case. Amy Locane's story stands as a cautionary tale about personal responsibility and the severe consequences of poor decisions, particularly when driving under the influence of alcohol. Her case serves as a reminder of the devastating impact such actions can have on innocent lives. Here are the actors who have redefined the concept of falling from grace. These stars once dazzled on screen, but saw their careers crumble due to mistakes or shocking events. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming videos. See you in the next one.